Hey everyone, how you doing? This is just a quick review and more so an unboxing of the Amazfit Active 2. So, where does this all start? I started off quite some time ago using Huawei products. I still really like Huawei products, but I am in the US, and over the last few years there have been some problems between the government, and I'm sure most of you, if you've ever used a Huawei product or you know what's going on in the world, just some issues and some tensions between the U.S. and China. Now, caught up in the middle of that has been Huawei. One of the companies that have been caught up in the middle of that for the longest has been Huawei. I think Huawei has some really good watches, some really good phones. I can't even tell you the first Huawei phone I had, but just to start, I had about two Samsung phones. They used to get hot. They used to get bogged down. They would shut off. They were freeze. Now, granted, Samsung has made quite a few changes over the years, but back when I had my phones, I had issues. So my last issue with my last Samsung phone, I dropped. Excuse me, I didn't drop the phone. What happened? Oh, so I was trying to add music to the phone, so I was having some issues. So I would take the SD card in and out because I couldn't get music to go on the phone the regular way where you just add music directly to the phone. Anyway, to jump ahead, somehow I guess I bent some pins or something in the phone, so I tried to take the phone back to Samsung, and it was a brand new phone, and they wanted to charge me pretty much half the price what I paid for the phone, what the phone was even worth, to repair the phone. So that kind of soured me on Samsung, and from then I moved away and I found Huawei. So when I first started, again, I had a Huawei phone. The phone was much cheaper, and for what I needed, my needs and my purposes, the phone performed excellent. And with that, I started further exploring Huawei. So, uh, I'm a fairly big guy, but I try to stay as healthy as possible. So, I took up jogging, and with that, I started to get into smartwatches. And my first smartwatch I found to complement the phone was the Band 4E. And I'm talking at least, gosh, we're going back well over 7 years, I believe, at this point. So I started with the Band 4E. Uh, Very basic, very simple, very to the point. It was a pedometer to track my steps. I believe, I'm not even sure if the band had heart rate. Maybe a heart rate monitor, I don't remember so long. But anyway, tiny little band. You could pop the pedometer out or the tracker. You put it on your shoe to get a more accurate count of your steps or when you're jogging. It was great. Very limited for what it did, but like I said, it got the job done, no issues. From there, I moved to the Huawei Watch GT2E. Very good. I loved it. It was great. Eventually, it died. Then I moved on to the, what was it? The Watch Fit 2 Active. I actually got that, gave it to my girlfriend. She liked it, it was okay, but it was so-so. So then, my current watch, which is the Watch GT3. Now, this watch is great, or the watch was great. Only reason I'm really changing this watch is actually because, it's showing its age and it's actually having some issues. Every time I try to start a workout, there's an issue where it'll freeze or the watch will cut off and reset itself. So I guess it's about time. I've had this watch for give or take 3.5, maybe 4 years at this point. But much like I said at the beginning of the video, there's some issues between Huawei and the US, so it's very hard to get watches sometimes. You can find some on Amazon or you have to look around, and it takes a while. You have to, you have to try to finagle it. And then when you get the watch, you don't have access to all the great watch faces and some of the updates because of the tensions. So I said it's time to step away. Now, I really don't want to go back to Samsung. I was also looking at the OnePlus watch. I actually have a OnePlus phone now. Really love the phone. Was thinking of pairing it and complementing with a watch. Now, however, I don't have the biggest wrist. I don't have the smallest wrist, and I feel that more so, I like my watch more so for being active, and that watch is kind of stiff. I don't think the lugs have the same movement, the freedom. So I didn't want to jump into that right away. Maybe if they make a little smaller watch, or a different style, a more sport-centered watch, I'll consider it. But I've been looking to Amazfit. One, for me, like I said, I am more functional over form. The Galaxy watches, they look very nice. Apple watches, very nice. However, their battery life, to me, I don't understand. Excuse me, the Huawei watches, even though they've been limited on what they can use and what technology they can get hold of, excellent. This watch is probably the worst watch I've had in terms of battery life. This watch, I may get battery life in, excuse me, resilience battery. This watch I was getting, I'll say, maybe 4 days. Where, you know, a Galaxy watch you make it a day, a strong day, Apple Watch, a strong day, a strong few hours, depending on what trackers, what sensors you're using. So, in terms of battery life, very good. The new thing is now the OnePlus watches are extremely good with battery life. Again, I don't think they have all the same thrills and chills as, say, an Apple Watch or a Galaxy Watch. But for myself, I'm more so health-centered, so I don't want to get every text and every email to my phone and every weather alert and report. I don't need that stuff. Just let me track my heart rate, let me see my steps for the day. So I'm more so health-centered, health-conscious based. So I've been looking at Amazfit. Actually, my lady, she started with a Galaxy. She loves and still loves Samsung, you know, but she had her last watch, had issues. It would die. Maybe she'd get a day, maybe 15, 16 hours out of the watch. So, you know, I tried to get her to come to Huawei, but I was hesitant because I know there are a lot of issues. So she was looked into Amazfit. So Amazfit seems to be pretty good from what I've read, what I'm seeing. So I said, you know what, it's time for me to give it a try. So I did some looking and a little bit of research, and I said I would like to give Amazfit a shot myself. So after some searching and some investigation and some research, I decided to try the Amazfit Watch. Excuse me, the Amazfit Active 2. So, again, this is going to be just a quick unboxing. Hopefully I'll be able to do a little review of a workout, give you guys a little more detail. If anyone that's interested in a watch with some staying power, and that's probably more so geared towards staying healthy and staying active without all of the extra, you know. But from what she tells me, this watch, you can receive pictures and text and all that other stuff. It's great, but again, I really myself don't intend on using all of that. Like I said, as long as my I don't know what you want to call it, my body metrics are being tracked, that's pretty much all I need out of a watch. You know, my phone for me can do all of that heavy lifting. So anyway, right here, that's what the box looks like. Nice little box. Let's see what comes in the box. I'm about to destroy it. This is for you guys. So, different. So probably won't need the box. This anyway. Hopefully it works. Let's see what we have inside. I'm definitely destroying this. Hopefully I won't have to return it. Okay, so we have here nice little plain simple white box. Let's see what we have on the inside. Case, okay. And here we have the watch. It says hashtag discovering amazing. So, just off the back, this watch, I believe it comes with 2 straps. This is the more dress-up strap. Probably won't use this too much unless I'm going out. Watch actually seems about the same size, not too much bigger than the watch I'm using now, my Huawei. I believe this is maybe a 44 millimeter, but this seems fairly light. Let's see. Yeah, they're pretty much the same size, so I'm not expecting a big difference. This one, the Huawei may actually be a little heavier. So let's just see. I believe this comes with 2 bands. Yeah, this band fits. This actually feels really nice, guys. You know, it looks like a very classy, I'm not going to say petite, but a small dress-up watch. So, you know, you can see right there. Looks like it feels good. Looks like it shouldn't have any issues with that. So let's see what else we have in the box. Okay, this is the watch. Inside of the box, what else do we have? So let's see. I like how everything is nice and packed and, you know, not a waste of cardboard or extras. Everything should be in here. Should find the charger in here once I open this. Only thing I don't like, seems like you really have to pretty much destroy this to get the stuff out. Extras. So inside we have, what do we have? Okay, so inside we have a sports band. I'm not a big fan of the color, but it'll do. It'll get the job done. You know, you can always find more bands for these, so that shouldn't be an issue. So inside we have the extra band, and we have a little charging cradle, and I guess an instructions guide, and just a little charging cradle. Let's see. So I guess you have to get your own USB, but you know, pretty much everyone has them these days. So, what does it fit here? No. Anyway, I guess this is pretty much it. So this is what you get. I believe this watch right now is going for a little over $120. I believe there's a Memorial Day sale. But, you know, I'm going to give this a test out and let you guys know what I think about it. Again, you know, I really, really like this watch, but, you know, this watch has seen its days, and it's time to try something different. Maybe move on from Huawei, at least until maybe things settle, get a little easier to get the watch, and maybe even get another Huawei phone at one point here in the U.S. at some point. And, you know, and it's easy to get software updates. You know, that was a real big thing for me in terms of, you know, like you buy a watch, you want to enjoy everything that comes with the watch. If there are different watch faces or different things you can download, and you don't have access, or you have to go through third-party apps, or you have to go all the way around the world just to get the watch to work, or different settings, or you have to set the watch in another country to try to get it to do things. You know, it becomes a hassle, especially as you get older. You just want simplicity and ease of use. So anyway, so far this watch seems pretty cool. Can't wait. I'm going to get it charged up, and hopefully I'll be back to let you guys know how everything works out. Thank you. Hopefully this helps someone. If you have any questions, please drop a comment. Thank you for watching.